Inc. and Swarjeet Singh Dhaliwal.
I can call it out, Judge.
Let's see if, the only lawyer I have listed is Ashley Cedillo on this one.
Yes, sir. Let me call it, Judge.
Okay, go ahead.
In cause number 2021, DCV 3174, Luis Erro Perez versus Darm Carriers et al. Announcement of counsel, please.
Ashley Slee on behalf of the plaintiff, Luis Yellow.
Okay, is anybody here for the defendant?
To my knowledge, Your Honor, they have been served. We've talked to the insurance company. They said they would be submitting an answer, which is the only reason why we hadn't done a default judgment yet. We're asking for a 45-day reset to do a default judgment by submission. We're going to tell the insurance company that we've already attended court hearing and we're going to be doing a default judgment.
Okay, so you want basically a 45-day continuance and then you'll file what you're going to file?
Yes, Your Honor. And
Okay.
we'll tell the insurance company in the event that they decide to answer. But it's my understanding that the defendants have been served. One defendant, the insurance company, is claiming representation. They told us they'd be submitting an answer, but that's why we were at a standstill. If they don't submit that answer, we'll be ready to go in a default.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and give you what you're asking for. You'll have your 45 days. Mr. Marufo will just reset this for around 45 days down the road and see if they've answered or where we're at. And if there's no answer by then, it'll be ripe for a default.
Yes. And Your Honor, just one last question. Would you want a default by submission or would you want to do a default judgment by hearing? Just for clarification.
I'm good with either. I mean, if anybody is opposing the default and saying, no, you shouldn't be taking a default, then I'm going to want to have a hearing on that.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no opposition and they've been served and they're just not doing it, then we don't need a hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I think that takes care of that case.
The next one, Judge, is the second
Yeah,
one.
I think the Juan Garcia one is the one I got next. Is that correct?
No, sir. On page 2, sir. The second one, Judge.
Freedom Mortgage. That's the one with Mr. Kalman?
No,
Yes,
sir.
Your Honor.
No, sir. The
Yes.
second one, sir.
Oh, thought there was.
Okay, now what's the next one we're gonna do?
The second one on page 2, Judge.
Okay.
In cause number 2021, DCV 4185, Randy Nájera versus Lola.
Yeah,
Vanessa
Randy
Rogers.
Nájera versus Lola Vanessa Rogers.
Yes, sir. Announcement of counsel,
Okay.
please.
Good morning, Ashley Say on behalf of the plaintiff.
Jose Vega here on behalf of the defendant, Judge.
Okay, this is set for a final status conference. Why don't you all tell me where you're at?
Your Honor, at this time, the parties have done written discovery. However, because of an issue with the medical authorization, which the parties did discuss earlier today, we're trying to get it taken care of. We're waiting for some records to come in before plaintiff's deposition takes place. My client was very weary about signing a blanket authorization, though it was limited in scope of 5 years. So we are re-urging to him why he needs to sign that authorization. I've already discussed the situation with Mr. Vega briefly. After this, we plan that once those records are obtained, the parties will be taking depositions and mediations and moving forward. So the holdup right now is records.
Okay, we want to do what we can do to keep this moving towards trial. So if we give you a 30 or 60-day continuance and reset this for a final status conference, presumably you'll have the records issue resolved. And at that time, we should be able to set it for trial. Is that a fair assessment of where you're at?
I would say, Your Honor, that we may want to do 90 days only because some of the local hospitals have been taking longer than 60 days to get records, just based off of my experience in the pre-litigation, because when we order them with affidavits and things like that, they're taking longer.
Mr. Vega, you agree? You think 90 days is,
Yes, Judge, I do. But I just wanted clarifications. Are we gonna do a status conference in 90 days and then get a new trial date, or
do
90
you have
days?
a well, let's talk about that. Do you have a trial date right now?
We do. It's in March, Judge. Let me pull it up right quick.
Okay.
Judge,
Well,
if I
that's
may
2 months
interrupt,
from
this is
now.
Marina, the coordinator.
Pardon? I didn't hear.
I'm sorry, Judge, it's Marina, the coordinator. They're set for trial March 31st, sir.
Okay. Can you make that trial setting? It sounds like you cannot.
I don't think the parties will be able to.
Okay. What I'd like to do is give you another trial setting right now, if we could schedule that, rather than have you come back in 90 days and then have to give you a trial setting. So let's be optimistic and assume everything's going to work smoothly. So can we give them a trial setting around June sometime?
Checking those dates, Judge, give me 1 second.
Sure.
The court is available June 9th, if that works for y'all.
How does that work for the lawyers?
I should be available. The only concern is I have a trial starting June 12th, out of the area, and it's a 2018 case.
Judge, I am, for June 9th, I'm triply set in the 120th. In looking at those cases, one of them looks like it's resolved. The other one, I don't know if it's going to go because I think one of the plaintiffs died. And the other one, it was a resetting because the plaintiff needed more time. So is there any other date in June that the court would be available?
I'm also looking at June 16th. It's
That would
available.
work out. That works for me, Judge.
If you're starting if you're starting a trial on, you said on the 12th?
On the 9th, or yeah, the
On the
12th,
9th?
Your Honor, the 12th, Your Honor, in Hidalgo County. And to my understanding, it was a case that was just transferred internally in the firm, and it's been ready for trial. They just need someone to try it.
June 23rd is also available.
I'm available June 16th. I don't
Okay.
expect.
Well, let's do this. Let's reset it for June 16th.
Yes, sir.
And let's have a status conference for a month before that. So you should be able to get all of your records from all the providers. And then hopefully you can, when we have that status conference, you can say, yes, we're ready to go.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if not, and there's something else we need to talk about, we'll talk about it then.
Yes.
That sounds good, Judge.
Okay.
May we be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. Hope
Okay,